La la. Welcome to the Broken Film Show, episode 3. I am obviously your host, as I am for a lot of these things. And joining me today is this one, the coffee themed, as I like to call her.
Totally don't have an addiction.
It's not an addiction, it's just a dependency. It's fine.
It's the only relationship I can keep, okay?
There is the fact you actually also it's a relationship you pay for, so kind of like marriage. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like my relationship with food. The only one that I don't pay for is the relationship I have with my bed.
Mojo.
Oh, yeah. I have Mojo with me.
Exactly.
Yes, I have the little fluffy butter.
Yes, please show everybody your mug, by the way, because I think everyone should see this. I think this is great. Yeah, there you go.
Something I live by.
And if people don't agree with that mug, Stephanie will fight you.
Yes.
So, no, although that'll be after Monday, when in the UK we can actually touch people again.
Yeah, but we've got to avoid face-to-face contact.
It doesn't say that in the guidelines.
Really?
No, it doesn't say that at all. It says you should minimise the amount of people you do it with, but there's nothing that says anything in there. And yes, I use that term and phrase on purpose.
That might just be my tutor then, because he's single and alone and depressed.
Well, he works at your college. What do you expect?
No, and he has me in his class, so I can't say I blame him.
Well, it's probably like about 20 or 30 versions of you that he has in his class. I don't blame you either.
There's only 10 of us.
Okay, so there's 10 of you. That's bad enough, right? Yes. Now we finished taking a mickey out of Steph, which is kind of a fun thing to do.
Actually, no, 15 if you include my 5 personalities.
And are they all coffee dependent?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how they've all got that one trait in common, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah. But obviously, we will get on the show. We're just going to do some of the pluggy first so people know this stuff. So basically, we have our Patreon, which is here, so you guys can help us by subscribing to that. There will be eventually some Broken Film stuff, which is done on Patreon, because we'll do certain subjects we'll go more in depth on. And the first Patreon show we'll probably do, that's a special, will be 50 Shades of Grey, but we're going to get much more in depth, shall we say, than what we did on the actual episode we did on it. So there'll be a lot more to what it is. Also, we'll be accepting feedback and questions for that as well. So because this you've got guys get an advanced warning. So for our patrons, this is feedback. Okay. You can let us know if you have any questions or comments about it. Also, there is our Twitter. We have Instagram.
Oh, crap, wrong way.
Yeah, I knew this would happen to Steph in a minute. She had to do something that wasn't her own show.
Yes.
We have Stephanie's Instagram.
Yeah, it's in shambles.
And of course, there's my website for my company. So, and we do all kinds of fun stuff as well, weddings, events, which of course there's a lot more. There should hopefully be much more of now after on Monday, where we can all touch each other again.
Wait, who wants to do that?
I'm not saying you should, I said you can. There's a big difference here, people. But just because from Monday, the people in the UK, well, particularly in England, just because you can does not mean you can go around touching everyone. People still have the right to tell you no, just to be very clear about this.
Yeah. Also, we still have the whole stay 6 feet away from me, bitch.
Actually, that's not a thing from Monday.
Well, it's still a thing for me.
I meant by the guidelines, but yeah. which would mean if Stephanie ends up meeting a guy or a girl, they're going to have a very big thing to touch her.
Oh, no one's touching me, thank you.
From 6 feet away. I'm touching you.
Not touching!
Yes, I saw that. Right.
I knew you'd set me off. Wow.
Yeah, Stephanie's social media can be interesting occasionally. That's all I'm saying about that one, people. If you don't know what the reference is, you need to find out.
Yeah.
So, but this episode will actually be about the Twilight Saga, for those of you who didn't read the description. So we're going to discuss that.
Swear at me.
Okay.
That's better.
You said swear at you, so...
I said don't swear at me like that. I said the T word.
What, the Twilight Saga?
That's appropriate. We accept that.
Okay. You guys can probably all tell Stephanie's opinion of this right away. Okay. Yeah, there's a chance we are going to rip this to shreds, okay? But we're going to be we're also going to explain why we have issues with things in this. It's not just going to be slating for the sake of slating. That doesn't happen on this show. We actually explain why we have issues with stuff, just to be very clear. Stephanie's put on her glasses to make her feel more intelligent.
Bro.
Did it work?
No. I think I drank my coffee too fast and now I'm getting the coffee jitters.
He's touching you.
Not touch! I'm touching the air.
Okay, just to lead us obviously into our actual subject. Look, I spoke. Yes, obviously we are going to... Stephanie, plug you if you don't hear me say, because I've got to say it again. We are discussing the saga that is Twilight.
Okay, thank you.
There is actually 6 books in total for the Twilight Saga. Okay, this is something we will get to. Obviously, there's 5 films. There's 6 books, but we'll get onto this in a minute. They were written by Stephanie Meyer, and Stephanie has a fact about the birth of these books, which she's going to share with us.
Do I?
What happened as a result of these books?
Oh,
yeah, the fanfic thing.
These books, the author of 50 Shades of Grey wrote 50 Shades of Grey as a fan fiction between Edward and Bella. Now, I didn't find this out, and when I first found it out, I'm like, are you sure the Twilight Saga isn't based off of the 50 Shades of Grey? Because it's 50 Shades is a much more popular franchise, in my opinion, anyway. Because I think the books certainly are. I think the films are not, but we'll get on to that because I have What Made What, by the way, as far as money wise goes for the films. So we will get to that. We will get to that. But yeah, it's an interesting thing when you bear that one in mind. That basically one was fanfic of the other, essentially. Yeah,
and particularly when you have Stephanie and Kira, who sometimes appears on the show, write fanfic.
Yeah,
I found it quite an interesting concept. It would have been nice if Kira had been here because we could have discussed it with her because Kira's written a lot more of it.
Yeah, she actually got me into writing fan fiction. So
yeah, unfortunately, not available. Well, didn't get back to this answer, so because that happens sometimes with these shows.
Yeah, I can give some perspective when it comes to fan fiction. But I can't go into greater detail like she can. So
yeah, but obviously, having done fan fiction, you can at least relate to it in a part because obviously, it's unusual to have a successful franchise spawn out of a fanfic, essentially.
Oh, definitely. I've actually never really heard of it before. Especially when most fan fictions are quite X-rated and really dirty minded as well.
I mean, So there isn't a film version, but I can think of a comic book thing that was a fanfic, which became an actual thing, and that was when the X-Men's titles all became the Age of Apocalypse.
Okay.
All that stuff was inspired by fanfic stuff.
Oh.
Because essentially it's a great big what if this happened. Because one event happened which changed history, which is why you got the alternate timeline. Yeah. So it's sort of similar in a way. But yeah, obviously we have covered 50 Shades of Grey for those of you who don't remember. Yes. That was the second episode we did. And again, we are going to do a special version of that for the Patreon where we go much more in depth and talk about very much more graphic details that we didn't do in the show.
Yes.
So, because we know
let's just do so much.
Yeah, plus we know grown-ups can only be Patreons because there's an age limit. So
yeah,
that's basically why that is. So, but as far as this goes, we'll start off with the books. The first book of the saga came out in 2005.
I was a baby.
Right. I was going to get to this, yeah. Right. And what's weird is you would have been the ideal age range, but obviously not then. Yeah.
It is definitely targeted at like teen fantasy kind of genre. So
I would say possibly pre-teen all the way up to late teens, possibly early 20s.
Yeah. So technically I'm still part of that age range.
I'll tell you up to 25-year-olds, so you are still within that age range.
Oh yeah, definitely.
However, am not. But I am, however, a big fan of supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
So we will get to that. So but that was the first book. The second one, which was New Moon, came out the year later, 2006. These books all came out very close together, by the way.
Yeah.
Eclipse was 2007, which was the third one, and then Breaking Dawn was 2008. So it literally came out one after the other.
Year after year.
Yeah. And the weird part is the films. Right? Because unless I've got my dates wrong, and I don't think I do, the film version of Twilight was 2009, which was literally a year after the last book. Then we have New Moon, which was 2010, again a year after. Then Eclipse I have as 2010 as well, but I'm guessing it's probably a different part of the year. And then Breaking Dawn as a film was put into two parts, which was a very big thing at the time for the end of sagas. Harry Potter springs to mind.
Yes.
Which was the very first broken film show we did. So we had part one, which was in 2011, and part two in 2012.
Yeah.
So
apparently there's meant to be another film coming out.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get to the book thing. Yes, you guys may have noticed I left out a book title, and that was on purpose because there's actually more books than there are. There's actually 5 books. And the 5th book is Midnight Sun. And for those of you who are not familiar with this book, it came out literally last year. It's the original film. It's the original Twilight book, but from Edward's point of view. Does this sound familiar to anyone who saw our last show about 50 Shades of Grey?
So who's copying who now?
This was a point I wanted to raise with Steph, because obviously Steph was here for our last show. So I was going to say, it sound familiar?
Yeah, just a little. Can't put my finger on why.
Ironically, so does that mean Stephanie Meyer? Did you pay too much attention to E.L. James?
Probably.
Because obviously we know E.L. James's franchise came from Stephanie Meyer's books, essentially. So, but it seems like the student has become the master.
We love that.
Or the sub has become the dom, if you will.
No. Okay then.
It seems the appropriate terms considering we are referencing 50 Shades of Grey. So.
Yeah, and I think we probably may do a couple more times throughout this show.
Yes, there are a lot of
link.
there are a lot of parallels and links. So
Mm.
yeah. The budget for all 5 films, by the way, was in total. This is for all 5 together is $401 million.
Damn, that much money?
That was to make all 5 films. You say that, you wait till you hear this part. The box office for all of them, all 5, was $3.346 billion.
Damn. I think my mum helped towards that.
I have some individual breakdowns as well, but basically none of them lost money. They all made a profit.
Yeah.
Which means by economic terms, they were successful.
Yeah.
More so than 50 Shades of Grey was, those films.
Mm.
But here's the click to that. The the ratings. This is why these probably would have had much more of a audience, because these are 12A films. The 50 Shades films were all 18s, if I remember correctly.
I think they
or even at 15s.
Yeah.
But that still locks out a bigger demographic than a 12A would.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because essentially, with a 12A, for those who don't know, that's what the ratings are in the UK. As long as you basically take someone who's over 18, you can go in. If you're under 12, so that you can take in whoever you like, as soon as you have somebody who's over the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes,
I know this because I took Stephanie to many films when she wasn't old enough, because 12A.
Yeah,
and because I was over that age, then I could take her in to see those films. Half-Blood Prince.
Sure. Oh God, that one scene.
Yeah, I took some of you. If you saw the first episode of Broken Film Show, you know what I'm referring to, because that was brought up in that show. So we won't go into it again here. People can go and watch that show to find out what.
I embarrassed myself enough the first time mentioning it. Again, never again.
Yeah. So, the weird part, though, and I did find this weird, is Stephanie Meyer did not do the screenwriting for any of the films.
Really?
Yeah, really. All the films were written by the same person, and it wasn't her.
I've never, because I'm pretty sure E.L. James wrote the screenplays, like the scripts for 50 Shades.
Or at least she co-wrote them, but yeah, she was involved. Yeah.
And
wasn't the case for these Twilight films. They were all written by a screenwriter called Melissa Rosenberg.
Okay.
I found it interesting that she wasn't involved, though. She did produce a couple of the films, but she didn't go into screenwriting. I
think that's kind of why they missed out on so much stuff.
It's kind of something I was going to bring up as to, I think, as you rightly mentioned, I think this affected those films.
Yeah.
Because you lost out certain things because the author wasn't involved in the writing process. Yeah.
And which is kind of a shame, because, you know, as it's her work that they're going off of, you would have thought she would have wanted to be involved within the whole process. So the writing, the producing, you know, so many authors take pride in their books. And then when they become films, they get involved with the filmmaking as well. Well, the behind the scenes of it all.
Well, look at it this way. At least you've got to bear in mind, it could have been worse. She could have done what J.K. Rowling did and completely ruined the film franchise.
Yeah.
Just bear that in mind.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
She is not a good screenwriter. Writing a book, sure.
Yeah.
But I will say this now, as somebody who knows a lot of people who write, and I have written books. Screenwriting and book writing are two different things. They're separate skills. And I don't think generally most people who write books can do screenplays. I just don't.
Yeah.
There are exceptions, because some people can, but it's a small number.
Yeah.
So, but maybe that's why Stephanie Meyer didn't do this. And to be honest, that could be why, I suspect.
It could be. I think that's one of the many unanswered questions that people have.
Yeah, but I think maybe that's, as you rightly point out, it could be why certain things were not done a certain way and why certain things were missed. And it probably does explain a lot of narrative choices.
Yeah.
So I do think it was particularly interesting. Also, I have the box office rankings for each of the films, by the way.
Okay.
This is according to Box Office Mojo, by the way. So this is their official list. The highest of the films to rank in the official rankings is at number 53, and it was Breaking Dawn Part 2. Right. Here's the weird part. The first one was 233. It's the lowest of the films.
Okay.
Which I found weird, considering that's probably what would have drawn most people into it to begin with.
Yeah.
Because literally after that, the numbers all go 83, 85, 80, and 53.
Yeah.
For positions. It seems weird when you think about it.
It really is. But at the same time...
Yeah. I have one which may even explain a few things as well. Bear in mind that the target audience for these are... How do I put this? It's going to sound sexist, but I have to put it this way. Basically, it's girls between the ages of basically preteen and basically 25. Okay?
Yeah.
I would say it's a fair assessment. But if people think I'm wrong to give that a label, then fine. Tell me what you think it is. But I think that's what it is.
I do agree with that.
Okay. This is why it's a relevant point, as I've mentioned this. I'm going to talk about the directors of the films. Okay. The first film was directed by a woman, Catherine Hardwicke.
Right.
The following 4 films were all directed by men. We have Chris Weiss, David Slade, and Bill Condon did the last 2.
Can you repeat that last name, please, just so I heard you correctly?
Don.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
I know. That's why I was very careful as how I said that, because I knew it would be misheard. But the thing about what makes it worse, though, is if he didn't work the first time, he came back for seconds. And what makes it worse is his name's Bill, which means William. Willie.
Right. Give me a minute, because I have got to pee before I pee myself laughing.
So, yeah, Stephanie's going to try not to wet herself, essentially, because, you know, it's one of those fun little things. But, yeah, I found it particularly odd when you bear that in mind, because the target audience, you've got one female director and the other 4 films are guys. And now, the last 2 films, bear in mind, was both done at the same time. So I think that makes sense that the same guy did both. I think it's a smart thing, in all honesty, because if you're going to do back-to-back films like that, have the same director. Otherwise, you're going to create chaos. It's not going to be fun. Also, each director was slightly different on how they wanted to do things, which I think can always be interesting. But I think it also reflects some issues with casting as well, which we will get to once Stephanie returns. Because Stephanie will return at some point. We just don't know when. It could be now, it could be never, it could be tomorrow, today, or never. So, yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
We're good. Let's go.
Did you check your condom?
No.
I was explaining that obviously he did the last 2 films, right? And I think it made sense because considering they were filmed at the same time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want 2 different directors to do the last 2 films if you're going to film them that way. To have one person do both, it's much easier. Otherwise, it's chaos.
Yeah.
So here we go. This is the bit I do find interesting, right? when it comes to what each film made, yeah?
Yeah.
The third film in the saga, which was Eclipse, is the second lowest grossing of the films.
Oh wow.
Only the first one is lower. Yeah. The next after, let's say, so we have Twilight, Eclipse, New Moon. This is in order on what they made money, by the way. Breaking Dawn Part 1, then Breaking Dawn Part 2. Breaking Dawn Part 2 made the most money. It was 829 million. So do find it kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. But yes. But here's the funny part. I think the fact you had different directors for all the films, I think, and you can give me your input on this, I think possibly affected how the casting went as well. Because bear in mind that Catherine Hardwicke, who did the first film, was very involved in who got cast into what role.
Yeah.
And something you may or may not be aware of, our leading lady was cast before everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of makes sense because it kind of revolves around her.
And our leading guy got cast after he did an audition with her at the director's house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Again, that makes sense, and I'm glad the director got involved because you don't really hear a lot about the directors getting involved with casting.
I think it's a good idea, but I have two issues with it. One, why is it taking place in our own home? That seems a bit odd. If a male director did that, there'd be people having fucking kittens. So, to me, that seems just slightly wrong.
Dinner.
Oh, I know. I can see. I'm judging you.
Wow.
You're supposed to say, stop judging me. Jesus, Steph, do you not know that one? I'm touching you.
Not touching.
That's how you're supposed to do the judging thing. That's how you respond to it. I'm judging you.
Not judging me.
There you go. See? Oh, yeah, it's all good fun. So, yeah, my point being, so a male director did that. There'd be kittens because you've got the leading lady in the male director's home.
Yeah, that's
right. In this instance, you've got the leading lady and the male leading guy in the home of the female director. Double standards much?
Yeah.
Because no fuss was ever made of this, by the way. And trust me, I'll get into the leading lady in a bit because I do have some issues with her. Okay. But yeah, as a result of that, they got cast as the couple. And I don't know what kind of drugs that Catherine was possibly doing. I say possibly because I don't know if she was. As to why she cast them as the couple, because they have the least chemistry of anyone I've ever seen on fucking screen together.
I can think of one other couple.
What, Harry Potter and McGonagall? Yeah, I know.
No, bloody Anna Steele and Christian Grey.
Oh yeah, I know who you meant. I've been funny. Yeah, Jamie Doran and Dakota
Johnson.
Dakota Johnson. There you go. There you go. But for those of you unaware, our male lead, who played the main vampire of the series, which was Edward Cullen, was Robert Pattinson, who those of you of a certain other franchise would know as Cedric Diggory. And his acting ability had not changed from that film he was in, which was Goblet of Fire, by the way, to this film.
He did really well.
Sorry?
He acted dead really well.
Yeah, that Harry Potter film helped him prepare for the part. But I wonder if even now that Robert Pattinson ducks and every time you hear somebody say Avada Kedavra. Or maybe it's only when Timothy Spall says it. Or if somebody offers him a spare, he probably gets a bit weird about that. So, okay, these are Harry Potter jokes, so I will finish next. This isn't a Harry Potter show.
Yeah.
Go on.
But I don't... Right. Robert Pattinson playing Cedric Diggory, I think he did better than what he did with Edward Cullen. And it's like, even though him and our leading lady were a real-life couple at one point while they were shooting this...
Yet they had no chemistry. Work that one out.
Yeah, exactly. They could have chosen someone better. It's like they could also choose someone better to play the new Batman.
Here's the thing, though. I actually have something to tell you this. One of the people who's actually considered to play Edward Cullen was Henry Cavill.
I would have enjoyed it so much more.
Just saying. Just saying.
No, that's a man I wouldn't mind in my bed every morning.
A man of steel, huh?
This is how you can tell I'm single.
Although saying that, apparently he's been replaced by somebody. They're doing a Superman, but they're going to have a Black Clark Kent Superman.
They did the same with the TV show Batwoman.
Right. Here's the thing I'm going to make very clear about this before I talk about this, and then I'm going to stop because this isn't we're talking about the subject of the show. This is not an unusual habit of movie companies or TV companies racially swapping characters. Stop doing it. Give these different ethnic origins their own heroes. I mean, if you're going to have a black hero, DC have one, which is Steel. There's a few of them. Okay, Cyborg, Steel. You can use those guys.
I mean, there's Black Lightning as well.
There you go.
You know, there's... And the
Martian
thing is...
Manhunter.
Yeah. It's just... In a way, I can understand, like, different ethnicities, like, especially communities, get very... like offended over them trying to take a white superhero and make them black.
Yeah, I know.
And this is me not being racist or anything.
I have seen a lot of people who are basically black, for lack of a better term, who are not happy about this because they find it as being insensitive, and I agree with them. I think it's very insensitive because give them actual heroes of black origin, you know, actual black superheroes. There's plenty of them, or make one.
Oh, there's also Luke Cage as well.
That's
Man.
Marvel. That's Marvel.
Oh, I thought that was DC. My bad.
It's all right, but yeah, but I get the point you're making. But anyway, that's not what we should be talking about here. So,
No.
but it's just it happened to refer to Henry Cavill, which was relevant to the Edward Cullen thing. But getting on to Robert Pattinson, who of course is supposed to be the new Batman, I've seen clips from that film, and
don't waste your money.
I would never tell anyone what to think because that's not my place. Judge for yourselves. I personally would not pay to go see it. However, if you're a Pattinson fan or you just want to see what it's like, by all means, it's up to you guys if you want to go do stuff.
But there are so many better male actors who could have played Edward Cullen.
I would say, to to be fair to Robert Pattinson, and I will be, it's not necessarily he's a bad actor. He's just not a fit for the part. Because I don't like to say somebody's bad at acting, because I've never seen him act in every role on the planet. So I have no way of knowing, basically. I can only talk about his ability to perform the role of Edward Cullen or Cedric Diggory or Batman, as the case may be, because there's examples of this. But with Edward Cullen, not his finest work. Was bloody honest, he was better than his co-star. Because we're getting on to Kirsten Stewart.
You could say he outshone her.
He's sparkled. I'm a little fairy, look what I can do. I can sparkle just like you. Somebody went to the glitter shop. I spent too much time in certain nightclubs. That's what I'm saying. But here's the thing to this. I'm not disparaging those nightclubs. Gay nightclubs rule.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm not particularly a nightclub person, but if you want to be entertained and see something really fun and have a good time, those are great places for that. I've been to some of them for work purposes because I am a photographer and I do event photography, and sometimes that requires going to places like nightclubs. And it's great fun. The reason I generally don't go to nightclubs and stuff, for those of you who don't know, I don't drink. I am teetotal. I've never drunk. So hence I don't feel the need to go out clubbing or pubbing because why would I? I don't.
Yeah.
The most likely place you'll find me would be a coffee shop, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who used to drink excessively as soon as she turned 18, I actually went to a gay bar with a bunch of my gay mates because we were all just going out and having like a kind of a girly night.
Steph, where did you go?
We went to a gay nightclub.
No. You went to where?
Yeah, a gay bar. I know. I heard what.
You went into a gay bar. Gay bar. Because he's got something to put in you. He's got something to put in you at the gay bar. Gay bar.
And honestly,
for those of you who don't know, that is a song. Electric Six was immensely fun.
And I had more fun in the nightclub that I went to with my friends than I did in another nightclub I went with a bunch of my straight mates. Never again. Yeah, but there was also a drag act.
Yeah.
There was a drag act then. Oh my god, she was hilarious.
Yeah. For those of you who are not familiar with drag, do become it. Have a look, try see what you can find for it. So it might not be for some of you, that's fine. But it's probably a lot of you, if you like flamboyant and to be entertained, you probably are going to quite enjoy it. So, but anyway, back to Sparkles. I mean Edward Cullen. Yeah, that was an interesting creative choice, wasn't it? How do we make everyone know they're vampires? They sparkle in the sunshine. So the question would be, what purpose did that actually serve for them as characters? I mean,
I will blind you with all my light.
Oh, yeah, the humans won't know we're vampires except for we shine when it's sunny.
Yay!
It's a good job I didn't live in California. They'd be fucked.
Yeah. That's what I don't understand.
What, only that?
He went to Jacksonville. Edward went to Jacksonville with Bella and it was beaming sunshine.
Well, if it's to Jacksonville that's in Florida, Florida is generally a hot state most of the year. And it's usually quite sunny. So, yeah. So, continuity.
That one.
We'll have to ask Melissa Rosenberg. So Melissa, did you not remember that you're supposed to shine when it's sunny?
Bless you.
Ah, thank you. But seriously, Melissa, did you not remember? Did you go over budget on special effects and couldn't make you shiny in the Florida sunshine?
Edward Cullen on the block. How to make a budget Halloween costume with Edward Cullen. Paint your friend in PVA glue and then chuck loads of glitter all over.
Oh no, what you want is one of those tops and trousers that are like sticky and just roll around in like sparkles.
That works too.
But yeah.
Just don't use super glue unless you want to be a bitch.
Speaking of bitches.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kirsten Stewart.
There was a rumor going around that she slept with one of the directors.
No rumor.
Oh really?
Well
then.
Not one of the Twilight ones, to be very clear about this. It was the director of Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh.
And we know this happened because they end up becoming a couple for a while. Which seems a bit weird, but you also bear in mind that he was married.
Adultery.
Well, by him, not by her.
Well, yeah.
She cheated on Pattinson.
Once a home, always a home.
But can you really cheat on a piece of wood, really?
Oh then.
No, it's probably been disingenuous to Robin Pattinson, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But Edward Cullen, on the other hand.
Yeah, why not shoot on a disco ball?
Dance fever, dance fever.
Oh no!
Always made me wonder why. If you had a boyfriend who could do it, surely the first thing you would do would be fire a light at him and then get him to turn around in a circle so you could like do dancing.
Or hang him from the ceiling.
But the thing is, right, because bear in mind these are high school children, kids,
Yeah.
right? That is a high school thing you'd fucking do as a high school kid. You'd shine lights at your fucking mate and get them to spin round in a circle so you can make crystal lens things like prisms. And do all sorts of weird wacky shit.
Yeah, kind of try and see if you can make a kaleidoscope out of your best friend. Yes, I am that twisted. I would actually contemplate doing that.
The appliance of science. But
it's just...
what I found really weird, though, when it comes to the vampires in general, though, when it comes to the Cullen clan, I should say.
Yeah.
Of their idea of being undetected was to just move every so often when the sun come out.
Yeah.
Oh, let's all go live in Maine because it's winter time, so the sun's not going to come out at all. Now, I don't know how much any of you people know about how weather works, but even when the sun isn't out, the sun is still there. The fact there's light at all during the day means the sun's out, which means in theory he's still being hit by sunlight, so why the fuck aren't they still sparkling?
Yeah, just because I know that the story's mainly in Forks, Washington, isn't it?
Oh, some shit like that.
Yeah, and it's like always overcast and pissing it down with rain. But in England, when it's overcast and pissing down with rain, it's still bright outside. It's been like that all today.
Yeah, I mean, for example, the state of Washington, a lot of the time is rainy and overcast, but if there's daylight, you still have sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'd say is possibly the intensity would be less.
Yeah. So what, do they just have like some anti-sparkling device? Or like anti-sparkling moisturizer that they apply?
I mean, maybe, and this is a theory, maybe it's a case of if there's not enough light, then we don't get the kind of power we need. But if it's a really sunny day, then they sparkle in the sun.
See,
we have joy, we have fun, we have seasons in the sun.
Considering that they want to be undetected, right, and just fit in with society.
Mm-hmm.
Why then tell the woman you automatically kind of lust over, in a sense, because that's what it starts off as? Why would you tell her your secret, so to speak, if you don't want anyone knowing that you're a vampire?
Because he wants to get his end away. He's come along and found us to play. He wants to get his end away. Essentially what it is it's lust. I don't think he can help himself, in all honesty. He's drawn to her. I think it's the I mean, they kind of do cover this in the film, to be fair.
Yeah.
Where the bloodlust can overcome them.
Yeah.
And that could be what reason why he's like that with her, particularly, because she does bring out more things in him, apparently. So maybe he just couldn't help himself.
Maybe. I mean, that is a really good theory to go off of.
Well, I'd also point out that that hunters do play with their food.
Yeah.
So that could be why, maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe he misunderstood a Beauty and the Beast.
That's bad.
For those of you who don't understand that reference, go watch or read Beauty and the Beast, and you may get why I made that particular remark.
I've eaten my makeup that was faded, okay.
You've eaten your makeup?
Well, in a sense, I have eaten my lipstick because I leave lipstick marks on my wraps. So
I would say, bear in mind, every time a girl kisses a guy and she's wearing lipstick, the guy is eating her lipstick.
Oh dear.
It's true.
Yeah. I've just never thought of it that way before.
No, people overlook a lot of things when they bear that one in mind.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Do you think he's drawn to Bella because he thinks she's pretty, or it's like, your blood. No one's touched it before. Bloody delicious.
Probably because he'd like to see her neck like this.
I want to suck your blood. You know, of course, if Bella had a necklace like that, that would have saved a whole lot of time and hassle.
Yeah, and it would have saved a lot of budget too.
Yeah. Speaking of budget saving, the baseball game.
Oh, God.
What the fuck was that for?
It was in the book, but there are some things in books that you can quite easily miss out on in films.
I would point out that JK. I'd point out that they've skipped a load of Quidditch matches in Harry Potter films.
Yes.
For an example, for a comparison example. That baseball game, I mean, literally, you could have just had the end part of the baseball game because that actually did serve a purpose because you met the other three characters. That's fine. But you don't have to show the whole bloody game of people running around doing weird shit in a thunderstorm. Yeah,
exactly. But oh God. Sorry, I've just thought of something, but we'll finish talking about the baseball game and then we'll talk about that then. But I feel like with the baseball game, it makes sense in the book. However, translating it into the film, because you've got to think of how much budget you're spending with like CGI and everything, and it was poorly done.
You've also got to bear in mind that you're CGIing Kirsten Stewart and Robert Pattinson to act, so that's going to cost you the whole way through the film anyway. And then you're going to have to add extra effects for the baseball game. In fact, every time that Kirsten Stewart expresses an emotion, that's CGI.
I think the only thing that isn't CGI'd for her is fucking her directors and cheating on her co-stars.
One director, because I only know about one, so let's be very clear about this. It was the one director.
Yeah.
Huntsman.
Yeah.
I don't want to imply she slept with other directors because I do not know that.
I mean, there were rumours because obviously she slept with one, so they were like, "Oh, she probably slept with this, that, and the other." I'm like, okay.
Of course, there'll be rumours, but I personally, and this is how I will look at it, just because you've done it with one person does not mean you do it with everyone in that profession.
Yeah.
Okay. There is also such a thing as attraction.
Yeah, you don't just randomly walk up to somebody and be like, "You're a film director."
I do. I do. I do. I go, "Hello, you're a film director. Do you know Kirsten Stewart?"
Oh no!
Stephanie understands why that joke is particularly funny, but sometimes I do it in drag as well. But anyway,
Dang.
it's on the weekends when I call myself Kirsty Stewart.
Oh dear. That's just.
It's just sparkling delicious, is it? Okay.
Yeah, there was something that I did want to touch upon.
Really? So did she?
Yeah.
That's why she got caught.
Wow. No, it was something I thought of earlier when we were talking about the baseball game scene.
All right. Yes.
So I'm gonna just go back a little bit in the film, and the
Back
scene
to
where,
the beginning of time.
it's the scene where Edward discloses who he is and does the whole "you think you can outrun me" and blah de blah de blah.
Oh, I survived TB because I got bitten by an older man. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. I was going to get to that later, but okay, you've kind of touched upon it now, so I would explain that. Yeah, if you're laying in bed and some person you don't know walks up to you and goes, "I can make it so you survive and you don't never have to die," I'm just going to bite your neck.
Ooh, Daddy.
Really? You wouldn't lay there like he does and essentially goes, "I'll be my daddy."
It just
like this.
It's just like, yes, bite me, Daddy Carlisle, bite me.
Bite me like I've never been bitten before.
You can bite as hard as you like.
And twice on Sundays.
Oh. But
okay.
Yeah, no, that just.
Okay, so we'll go on to the bit you was going to talk about because you talked about how many, because he did explain to her how he became a vampire.
Yeah.
Well, this because I figured that'd be the point to put that part in. That's why I said it then. Okay, so go ahead.
So the whole part where he's like, "Oh, you think you can outrun me," and blah blah blah. Right? I can't remember the whole thing, but I
don't blame you. I don't either.
I watched this therapist react to that scene, and he turned around and said the way, and the film in general, the way Edward talks to Bella and tries to like court her and everything, It's the same way Batman talks to the criminals that he catches.
He's doing research for a start. No wonder he got cast as Batman.
But then I rewatched the film and I noticed how it was, because in the book, Edward is a lot more relaxed around Bella and is a lot more nicer.
That's not true.
Wow. But whereas in the film, how Edward makes it come across, he makes it as if she should be intimidated by him at all times.
I would point out, you touched upon this, and I'll mention this because you've brought this up. The way he is with her, it's as if he is a psycho stalker.
Yeah, and it's, throughout the whole franchise in general, that is how he is. And he's always putting her in some form of bloody danger. And it's toxic. So if you want to look at a toxic relationship, watch Twilight.
Also, that's what makes that worse. Look at the target demographic for this franchise.
Yeah. It's aimed at...
It's a 12A.
Yes.
Also 12A.
Yeah. It is aimed at young women and little girls, essentially, because I call little teenagers little girls.
And gay men who like sparkles.
Ooh, glitter! Oh, no. But it's just... It's setting a bad demographic as to what a relationship is.
Right, that was going to be my point.
A normal relationship, whether it's with a man or a woman or whatever, it doesn't matter. A relationship shouldn't be controlling, manipulative, abusive, toxic. It should be nice. And it should... I'm not going to say it should be easy.
Yeah, what's that? What? No, you're not toxic. No, we have a great relationship. Yeah, I love you. Yeah, it's fine. You're not controlling. I want you in my life.
Yeah. It's okay.
Just reassuring the coffee.
Yeah. No, it's okay. You can hold my coffee forever. That's fine.
Yeah, but you got to bear in mind, its coffee is giving, and it's never demanding. It just wants you.
Yes, it's all that I desire at this moment in time.
It also makes you feel better.
Yeah.
But also it doesn't follow you everywhere and try to intimidate you.
And it doesn't make you fall asleep during conversations either.
Or sex.
Yeah, all that. But it's showing what you shouldn't have in a relationship, which is good. However, if younger girls don't understand that, they think that's the ideal relationship. Like my other half putting me in danger 24/7, my other half being so controlling and manipulative and pushing me away. No. If he does that, he's a psychopath. Or she. If they do that, they're psychos.
I'd actually argue it's a sociopath, not a psychopath, but
yeah. I didn't know which one to go for.
Well, psychopath is somebody who does it without thinking. A sociopath is premeditated. Essentially, it's a difference.
Yeah, it's just that's what really rattles my bones, especially as I have a sister within this age range. It's like,
also, you were within this age range and still are within this age range.
Mm-hmm. And I was one of those girls in secondary school, and I was in year 8 when I first watched Twilight. And I'm on about the first one.
Which would be what age for those of the people not in the UK? Because obviously grades are different elsewhere in the world. 12
to 13 years old.
There you go.
I'll have to say 13 because I'm a September baby. But
yeah,
I watched that.
Yeah, you just have to bear in mind that not everywhere in the world does their school grading the same, so it's better.
Yeah, no, I did forget that. But I watched that and I thought that was the perfect relationship, and then unfortunately, I ended up having a relationship very similar to the controlling and manipulated side of things when I was a little bit older. And then I look back on it, I'm like, that's not right.
Yep.
And the fact that films, and essentially books as well, if they're reading the books, because the books show it as well, just not as in your face.
It's much more subtle, yeah.
Yeah, whereas in the films, it's like, haha, toxic, manipulation, haha. And it's just the fact that you're thrusting this into girls' faces as ideal relationship goals.
You're also telling any of the guys watching, this is what you can do. This is okay. They want this.
Yeah. I was going to get onto that, but yeah.
Yeah.
And that, it's not okay. I'm sorry, but no. Films in general and directors and screenwriters need to stop doing this. This is not okay. It is not fair on creating these ideal relationships, so to speak, on screen, when half the time the female or male population will watch it and be like, right, I can do that then because this film said it's okay, this video game said it was okay, and it's just...
But the thing is, not being funny, if you're a person who's got a brain, then you realise that's not the real world.
Yeah.
But it is still a bad message to send people, but it's not the real world. But most people should know the difference. To be very clear, I'm not going to blame film and media for video games for these things.
No. It's a conscious decision.
Yeah. You shouldn't reinforce it by having those sort of things happen, but at the same time, particularly in this franchise, there's no consequence for Edward for doing this. It's never like a... I mean, to be fair, Jacob kind of calls him out on it.
Yeah.
But nobody else really has an issue with it, which is interesting.
And it's like, even his own family don't have a problem with it. And I'm like...
Well, they're probably all the same. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So,
bearing in mind, they hadn't had any relationships with humans. They were like, yeah, all right, they were meant to be family, but I know there was, like, I believe Alice and Jasper were together, and Rosalie and Emmett were together. Yeah. And then obviously you got Carlisle and Esme.
Yeah.
So Edward was the only one to date a human. And it's just... no. And I think that's probably why his family didn't really intervene.
I mean, here's the thing, and this is not an excuse, but it's just an explanation to why it may come across that way. Maybe when vampires in that world date, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's not an excuse.
Oh, no.
Just trying to look at why that may happen. Bear in mind also, with the film versions, these were not written by Stephanie Meyer. They were written, as we touched on before, by someone else.
Yeah. I think another theory that could be as to why he is the way he is. He's, 117? Something like that?
Yeah, he's the youngest of them.
Yeah. So he's been around for over a century, and I'm not saying this is going to be the case, but my theory is because there was a lot of, back in the old days, men found it acceptable to control their wives and all of that, and maybe that's what he grew up around.
I would say probably pre-World War II it was very much more a thing, but after the war it became different because after World War II, during World War II, women had to do a lot of things the men would have done before because the men were fighting. So it changed the dynamics of men and women, essentially.
Yeah.
So that could be why. I mean, you make a very valid point there, I think.
It could just be he's stuck in the olden days.
Well, I would say, to be fair, if you're over 100 years old or like 500, 1,000, your core memories tend to make up a lot of your personality and what defines you. So
yeah,
that very much could be what it is. He could be thinking very much of what would he be? Almost Wild West times it would be for him, I think, because
Yeah.
America. So yeah, so it'd be Old West. So those kind of times in the Old West would be like the dame at the saloon and stuff like that. It wasn't obviously like it is now.
Oh no. All right, I'm gonna be back in a minute. I'm just gonna quickly go put my rubbish in the bin, and now I will be back.
Rubbish.
And I need another cup of coffee.
And another cup of coffee. Yeah, that's just how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I mean, this is not something that I always had an interesting issue with. Speaking as a guy as well, I think it's important as a guy when you see stuff like this that you call it out, because it's entertainment is one thing, but you have to remember to be very clear that it's entertainment and it's not the real world. But obviously, if you see people doing this in real life in a relationship or to people they're with, that's not okay. So do step and do something, whether it's a guy to a girl or a girl to a guy or a guy to a guy, girl to a girl, you know, or a non-binary to a non-binary. You should do something about it. People shouldn't be left to suffer. It's not fair. And be punished for the fact they just happen to like the wrong person, essentially, or even the right person, but they haven't got the right intentions for you. It's a difficult thing, I find, anyway. Yeah, I don't want to go too much into stuff yet because I don't want Steph to miss out on the stuff we're going to say, basically. That's what it is. So what we'll do while Stephanie's absent is I will mention, obviously, the fact of if you have a subject you want to talk about on this show, movie-wise, studio-wise, whatever it may be, or even actors, then let us know. Get me with your comments, your messages on social media. We have a list of stuff we're going to go through anyway, but obviously if there's anything particular that somebody wants, then that stuff's going to get more likely to get done sooner. Obviously, if you're a Patreon, that really does prioritize you. So those people get instant access, essentially. They get to have their stuff pushed right to the front of the queue, because that's just how it works. So, yeah. But yeah, there are some interesting relationships in the saga as well. And when I say interesting, it's saying the dynamics that go on. Some are bad, some are okay, and some are okay, fair enough. But it's a case of you do really have to wonder about a lot of these people. If they were real people, then I would have lots of issues. There you go. Right. We may also, at some point, touch upon various other subjects as well, but we'll get to them. Probably the next show we do, and I will confirm this with you guys on social media or on our pages, but it'll probably be about Disney. So, yeah. So we're going to see how that goes. That'll be in a couple of weeks' time, more than likely. It's see. I'll just look it up now for you guys, just so I can check. Yeah, it should be like the 19th. Yeah, it'll be like the 19th of June, the next show, unless something comes up. That show will probably be about Disney, unless something comes up in the meantime, which will supersede it. It depends if anyone gets in touch with us about anything they'd like to see instead. But I think that could be an interesting subject for a lot of people. It may make a few people unhappy. Or they may really want to, may really enjoy it. It's hard to know. But definitely make sure, if you want to say, our Patreon. It does help them. It really does help us out with this stuff. It keeps us going. There's also a bunch of perks and stuff you can get too. For all the shows, not just this one. So, let's see. So this week, tomorrow we have 50/50 booking for those of you who are interested. It will be a preview. It will be reviewing the past week's WWE stuff, and then we'll be talking about the preview of the pay-per-view and doing predictions as well. On Wednesday is the Sorting Stuff quiz show. Now, if there's not enough people available to do the show, there will still be a podcast. There will still be a show that day, but it won't be Sorting Stuff. It will be a new show. So either way, there'll still be something. And then, of course, Hook Up With Steph will be the following Saturday. And then we'll have 50/50 booking that Sunday as well. So
Nice.
there we go.
Hello.
Hello.
I have coffee. I'm ready.
Yeah. Stephanie's reinforcing a toxic relationship.
Yeah. Hey, it's not the shh. No. You've made my coffee cry.
I meant with the internet. Jesus, Steph.
Okay, my coffee thought you was talking about my coffee.
Why would I talk about your coffee that way, Stephanie? Jesus.
It's okay. It's okay. You're nice and hot just the way I like it. You're good. Oh. Right. So, where did we get up to?
I was talking about the unhealthy relationship of Edward and...
Now, just quickly switching over to Eclipse.
You can jump backwards and forwards. It's fine. We're covering the whole saga anyway.
So, not Eclipse. It's more New Moon than Eclipse, but you do see it in Eclipse as well. Jacob Black and Bella.
We are going to get onto Jacob Black on his own in a minute anyway, but yes.
That friendship, somewhat relationship, whatever it was, it's a lot more healthier. Because he's not a controlling dick.
No, but he does have a hair problem.
Yeah, I think he sheds a lot. But it's just...
him and Mojo should talk.
Oh yeah, swap grooming techniques and everything.
Yeah.
But,
I'm not really sure you want Taylor Lautner sleeping underneath your bed, but anyway.
No, I'm good, thanks.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but it's just the way, because when Bella comes off the bicycle, like the motorbike, and hurts her head, he immediately makes sure that she's okay. Then tells her dad, which I think was kind of a dick move, but I can understand why, because it was out of concern for Bella.
But it's not a dick move. He did what he should do in that situation.
Yeah, he did what he thought was right, which was, again, a good thing. And it's just the fact that she chooses Edward over Jacob was bad. It was a bad decision on her part, in my opinion. Because she has the whole, I want to be a vampire, I want to suck blood.
Well, you got to bear in mind this also goes to the ultimate girl fantasy. Girls generally like the bad boy.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the whole.
Also, society, and this is a big thing, romanticizes killers.
Yeah.
And vampires as well. That's another thing. Look at how many vampire shows and books and stuff there are where people romanticize Dracula, for example.
Yeah, and then you've got the Vampire Diaries, the originals, Legacies.
Bear in mind, those came after Twilight, so they don't really have this context.
Yeah. But there's just so many vampire-related shows and films and...
But I'm talking about as in relation to the character, because the character would have Dracula and stuff in that world, because that's what it would be. But timeline-wise, it would take place before you had the other shows, which is why I'm not counting them.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's just... I don't like how they romanticize them. It's...
I would point out, but even the real world society does that. It's not even just a film thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. I mean, in the real world, obviously they're not real, but at the same time,
yeah,
you're glamorizing a creature that's, all intents and purposes, is to kill.
Yeah, and
I mean, what makes it even worse is in Twilight's case, you've got a creature whose prime instinct is to kill, but he sparkles in the sun.
And it's on a vegetarian diet as well. Let's not forget the vegetarian diet.
Yeah, he just eats vegans. Because I'm assuming that's what it means for a vampire. Yeah, I only eat vegetarians and vegans.
Yeah, no, it's the whole I eat drink out of animals.
That's not a vegetarian diet.
That's how Edward describes it to Bella, because when Bella asks about his diet, he says it's a vegetarian diet because they only drink from animals.
Which means that, which is bullshit, because that's still a meat eater.
Yeah.
Which clearly shows that Edward lies.
Yeah. And they said there's only them and one other clan who do that.
I would also point out that in that context as well, it's not necessarily malicious. Like they're lying to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
So it's more like a delusion than a lie.
Yeah, it's kind of like for a smoker, for instance, who in reality smokes like 40 or 50 cigarettes a day, only saying, oh, I only smoke like 10, 20 a day. It's not that bad. Well,
look at it this way. It's a case of someone's just smoking, oh, I don't smoke that much, it's fine. But in reality, they smoke about, like, they're like, oh, I only smoke like 10 cigarettes a day, but they forget to mention about the fact they smoke about 20 cigars.
Yeah. Oh, it's like someone who says they only use a vape when in reality they still smoke cigarettes as well. It's
or somebody who says they're not addicted to sex. Despite the fact they don't. It's not just because they have sex with more than one person.
Yeah. It's weird.
But I would point out, unlike the other ones, the sex thing is different. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's more. I'm using it because it's a compulsion.
Yeah, and it's, lying to make yourself feel better only works when you can then admit to the lie.
Yeah, it's okay as long as it's not hurting or harmful.
Yeah.
The problem is, particularly with the Cullens, is it's harmful what they're doing.
Yeah.
To them as well, not even just to other people.
Yeah, no, it's in a way it's kind of bizarre.
It's Twilight.
I mean, yeah, we can't expect much more from that franchise, can we?
Apparently not.
But it's like, I think another message that Twilight does bring across is kind of a bad one as well, because you know how the vampires try to fit in and like make everyone around them seem like they're human. In a way that's not being true to yourself, and that's basically saying it's okay to act like someone else and not be who you truly are in front of others.
I would say bear in mind this is a long time thing in particularly literary and in film. There will be people who try to fit in because they don't want people to notice them.
Yeah.
But it's one thing if you're just trying to not be noticed and you just don't want to stand up, that's fine. But if you're changing things about yourself in accordance to do this, that's damaging to you ultimately in the long run, and you will suffer for it.
Yeah.
Like this vegetarian diet nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like me going, yeah, I want a Big Mac, but don't give me any cheese. I'm on a Big Mac only diet, but no cheese.
And that's like me saying I don't drink anything else but tea, whereas in reality, I don't drink tea, I drink coffee.
Or it's like me going, I drink coffee, but I only drink decaf.
Oh, decaf is disgusting.
Oh, I know it's disgusting, but essentially it's still the same thing, is my point. You drink enough decaf, you're still going to get the same effect.
Oh, yeah. Just takes a little longer.
Yeah.
And a lot more to the bathroom.
Yeah, you can get the same effect from tea. You can eventually get the same effect from tea as you do from coffee, but it takes more cups.
Oh, yeah. Because the caffeine in coffee is a lot stronger than in decaf coffee. Because even in decaf, there is caffeine in decaf. It's just not as much.
It's just not as potent, but it is there.
Yeah.
Also, you've got to bear in mind the other thing a lot of people add to these drinks as well, sugar.
Guilty.
Oh, I have sugar and stuff too. But it's a case of you can't then turn around and go, oh, no, I drink it. It's healthy. It's like, it's completely healthy and there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, I put sugar in it. So it's not going to be the healthiest healthy can be. But at the same time, sugar is also good for you as long as you don't overly excess it.
Yeah, it's like I had a friend in secondary school in year 8 who was like, I don't drink coffee, I don't drink caffeine. Yet every morning she'd rock up with a Monster energy drink.
Which is actually much
she
worse.
Doesn't want to put those toxins into my body.
Yeah, an energy drink, by the way, for people, just so you understand, is actually worse than both.
Yeah, in energy drinks, it is the amount of caffeine, and bear in mind this isn't diluted caffeine either, like it is in coffee. The caffeine, it can equivalent to over 6 cups of coffee per can.
Yeah, there is stuff in coffee that negates caffeine, which actually brings down its effectiveness as far as caffeine goes.
Yeah.
You don't get that with energy drinks. No,
and as someone who used to religiously drink about 5 energy drinks a day to get through secondary school.
We both know someone who does drink a lot of energy drinks too.
Yeah. I have friends who do that, and there's obviously me who I don't drink them as often anymore, actually. I have maybe once a month.
But that's fine though, because that's healthy, because you're not doing it every day or 3 or 4 times a day.
If I didn't get, this is how bad I got. If I didn't have at least 3 out of my 5 energy drinks a day, I would get violent, I would get angry, I would start having withdrawal symptoms from the caffeine, and I would crash as well. I would go from full of energy to I would just crash and go to bed.
So basically, guys, Steph would essentially do what she does on sorting stuff, but she didn't do it in real life.
Yeah. Pretty much. But just if you have a problem, like when it comes to like addiction and shit, because we have kind of touched on that, get help.
I'm always going to get it, because essentially all the vampires are essentially addicts.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why, you mentioned it before, why Jacob is probably a better choice for her, because Jacob doesn't have that same issue.
Yeah. He just has a temper issue.
It's a bit wearing as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hairy situation.
It's howling almost.
Oh god. Makes him feel all rough as well.
Yeah, it leaves you barking mad.
Oh god, sorry. Enough of the puns.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Okay, you win. That's the corniest. For those of you who do not know, we're referring to Jacob Black, who is the other rival for Bella in the series, and Jacob is a werewolf.
He a wolfie. Now, there is something I want to touch on with Jacob. Oh, not like that. If I was drunk, then maybe.
Mojo, run! Run, Mojo!
No!
Run!
No, don't talk about my child like that. Jesus, no. But Jacob is very much drawn to Bella, and he thinks that he imprinted on Bella. Then in the 4th book and the 4th and 5th film, I think it was the 5th film Renesmee came around, the baby.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Yeah, so when Renesmee comes around, he imprints on a baby. So to speak. Don't you think that's just a little bit dodgy?
There's a joke I really want to make right now, but I can't.
Oh no, you're gonna have to tell me after the show.
I will.
Yeah, I'll hold you to that.
So,
but don't you think it's a little bit dodgy?
I would say in Jacob's case, being with the werewolf thing, essentially it's the same way that dogs can imprint upon people.
Yeah.
So it's not this creepy because animals imprint on people usually because they like them or want to protect them, like dogs and their owners.
Yeah, I mean, example Mojo with me and my family.
Right.
It's
so
just, you know.
Yeah, I don't find that anywhere near as creepy as if Edward does that.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand it, but it's just...
it still is a bit weird, but at the same time,
yeah,
you understand it more with Jacob than you do with Edward.
Yeah, if that was Edward, a full-grown adult who doesn't have the werewolf, who doesn't have the werewolf tendency, imprinting on a child. Yeah.
Bear in mind, Jacob is an adolescent, is basically a teenager. He's not a full adult male.
I believe at this point he is 16, 17. At this point.
Yeah, so he still has hormones, urges, and stuff going on. Plus, he's not been a werewolf for that long.
No, he became a werewolf halfway through New Moon.
Yeah.
Oh, it is now too dark in my room. Let's shed some light on the subject if it works.
Yeah, some Twilight, hey, Steph?
Yeah. There goes my plug.
The reason the light's off, people, is because Stephanie's showing the new moon, and yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And there's been an eclipse to save you all from seeing it, but in a minute the light will come on, and that'll be the breaking dawn.
Way.
Got all the titles into one segue.
Hey. Is it back on yet?
Nope.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It's still as dark can be.
Why is it not?
It's almost as dark as my soul.
Let's see if we can... Hello?
Wave to it.
Hello? Ah.
There you go. You're back. There you go. It needs to recognise you on the sensor. That's why I told you to wave.
Yeah. Hi, I'm back. And a lot more yellow toned.
Yeah, that's what happens when using artificial lighting. That's not tonally correct. There you go. That's better.
Yes. I have 2 warm lights on this side, and I've got my study lamp on this side.
Stephanie's Phantom of the Opera light is behind her. you need to do a podcast eventually, Steph, and then you come on like with a cloak lace and going. We can't even see your face, Steph. You're just like a bright ball of white. Okay, now you look like you should be in a horror film podcast with that. Yeah, Stephanie. Yeah, like that, and say, do that pose again. Just get to there and go. Let me in. Kathleen is my friend.
Come play with me.
Congratulations, Steph, you've been cast for the next Twilight film.
Way. I'm pale enough for that as well. That's the problem. I'm naturally pale toned.
That was a lot of the cast, in all honesty. There was a couple of them. Of course. We will talk about the special effects, by the way, because I think it's something we should touch upon for this franchise. Since we got wolves and vampires, and baseball games, and shiny things in sunlight, and
there was So in one of the films, I can't remember which one it is, but Jacob's in his wolf form, right? And Bella's like patting him on the head and all of this. I think it was the last one. I saw it behind the scenes.
Yes, Jacob, you're my little submission.
Yeah, so I saw it behind the scenes footage of it, and it is Taylor Lautner in a green suit, and he's like this, and Bella's like that on his head. Right, give me 2 seconds. But so Taylor Lautner's in a full green suit from head to toe. The only thing that isn't in the suit is his face, and he has bowed himself like this. And you can just see Bella's hand like that on his forehead area, and it's just like, how much of a tit do you think he felt like?
Well, I think she felt the tit, because but the thing is though, that does make it easier for her because she's not trying to like pat thin air.
Yeah,
which is a lot harder to do, I'll tell you. Bear in mind, those green suits and stuff, it's the same effects they use of like Thanos in the Marvel movies and such.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when it comes to his werewolf form, I thought they did that very well for Jacob. I thought he looked very good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Since you mentioned a werewolf.
Yeah, it looked really realistic. Like, as realistic as CGI can get.
Yeah.
Oh, I've sat in the shopper.
Well, the trick with CGI particularly is you don't want it to hit the uncanny valley, because if it does, it looks too realistic. And on film, that doesn't look right.
No.
Because if you look in the real world at things, in the real world, things aren't perfect. You've got imperfections.
Yeah,
so so that's the trick when you create an effect. You can't have it be too good, because then it looks fake.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that looked really fake, and this was about the werewolf thing.
Was it
No, it was when they had to CGI the clothes ripping. You could tell it was fake.
Which is weird, considering not too long afterwards, you've got the Avengers movie and the Hulk movies where Hulk does that.
Yeah.
And it looks fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I just don't understand why they made such a piss poor job of the clothes ripping, but yet did an incredible job on making the werewolves look somewhat realistic.
I'm guessing because they didn't care as much about the clothes thing. That's my honest answer.
Probably, but the thing is that that's just down to attention to detail. So.
Oh yeah, that's a bad thing, because you should care about every effect in your film equally. But they don't. That's the honest truth. Look at the baseball game, for example.
Yeah, that was just piss poor, especially when you've got to try and make it look realistic that they're running at like 200 miles per hour. And you can't even do that.
Yeah, and of course there's the effect of when they're glowing in the sun, glinting in the sun.
It just looks like someone glitter bombed them. I'm sorry, but no. And then the whole vision thing where Bella sees Edward in like visions and some bullshit. That looked even more terrible. They could have made it look a lot better.
Oh yeah.
I don't get why they got one bit of CGI. They got one bit of CGI looking okay, and then they basically just turn around and say, "Yeah, fuck it, the rest of it ain't important." I'm like,
I would say it this way, right? I reckon they got the werewolves pretty much as good as you could get them, and then they decided that was enough of what you got to concentrate on. We now just get to do whatever the fuck we like and go off and have a wank in the meantime.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, all right. Considering what the last film came out 2012?
Yep.
Yeah. So, alright. CGI wasn't as advanced as what it is today, but it was still a lot more advanced to make things look realistic.
It's still not perfect now by any means.
No.
There are still certain things you could do even then.
Yeah. But it was a whole half-assed job. It's like, if you can't do a job, don't do it at all.
Right, exactly. I would agree with that. I'm going to check what year the Avengers film came out because I want to do a comparison. When it comes to
which one? Infinity War?
No, the original Avengers film.
All right.
Because that has the effect, the Hulk effect
that
I mentioned before. That's why.
Okay, yeah.
So there we go. Living in the UK, you have to use a different search term for it. Yeah, 2012.
So that came out the exact same year as Breaking Dawn, Part 2.
Yeah. Which means it would have been filmed in 2011, the same year as the first one.
Yeah. And then editing takes a while and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
So probably 2010, 2011 is when it was filmed.
Yeah. But the fact that they still couldn't get the clothes ripping properly, even though it looked fucking brilliant when Bruce Banner rips his clothes off when he hulks out.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Bear in mind, but this is us talking about Avengers. They got the clothes shit right when Edward Norton was the Hulk in 2008.
Oh yeah, and that was when technology was just starting to advance, like in all like proper seriousness.
It was the first time the Hulk looked okay. Which is the other thing.
Yeah.
Because it does show you. It does show you it can be done. I mean, we've already touched on that. They did the werewolf great. Yeah,
I mean, I think the other thing is as well is when it comes down to the Hulk movies, there are some that are much older than 2008, I believe.
There was the early 2001, which was just Hulk.
Yeah.
And even that wasn't too bad. It wasn't great, but the effects were decent.
Yeah. And it's... But the thing is as well, with just briefly, because we've touched on Marvel, because they have such a broader audience, especially comic book fans, they need to make sure they pay attention to the tiny little details, and they still miss shit.
And they still get bollocked for shit anyway.
Yeah.
And in some instances, they are rightly bollocked, but anyway. Back to the shiny, glowy people.
The shiny, glowy people. I feel like them sparkling was not necessary at all.
I think, to be honest, if you were going to do it, there's a better way they could have done it.
Yeah. And the way they did it, no. It was piss poor, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I did like how they CGI'd Kirsten Stewart's emotions. I thought that was really well done.
Oh yeah, no, that well played. Good job, CGI people. Good job.
Yeah.
We applaud you.
And Edward's emotions as well. I mean, you know.
Sorry, there was emotions?
Oh yeah, the CGI show brought forth his scowling and his
Well, according to Jack Whitehall, that's just his normal face.
No, it's Jack Whitehall's cum face. Oh, you meant Cullen, sorry.
Wow.
I don't like Jack Whitehall. I think he's a bit of a douche.
Yeah, no. But he went to school with Robert Pattinson.
But that sucked.
Yeah. I just tried to make a snowflake out of material, and that's how it went.
Well, did anyone else Whitehall if Robert Pattinson glowed? Was shamed.
Oh no! Oh dear.
Bear in mind that Jack Whitehall went to a private school.
Yeah.
Which means all the boys shared a room together, so they know who's shy.
Yikes.
To be fair, it would explain why Pattinson's a bit stiff as well.
Oh dear.
What's that?
Nothing. Wait, where did all my coffee go?
Down your throat.
No, I don't remember drinking like 2/3 of it.
No, you did. Stop drinking me.
Not drinking. Oh dear. But one thing that does make me chuckle though, and I think this is purely an irony thing, Carlisle.
The town or the vampire?
The vampire, Carlisle.
Just checking.
He's a doctor.
And he sucks.
And he is surrounded by a shit ton of blood on a daily basis.
Uh-huh.
But yet, he still has his vegetarian diet.
What I would say in his case, though, he's the oldest of them.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably had longer to get used to it and realise and possibly adapt to it.
Yeah.
So out of all of them, he's probably the one who possibly could stick to it.
Mm.
But I don't think originally he would have done, because I think that would have been very difficult, especially as a young vampire, which Edward is, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Originally, Carlisle, because of how he was raised, I believe he was part of the Volturi for a little bit. So the High Vampire Council.
Yeah. It was how he was raised. He spent most of his days on the playground, most of his days shooting some people outside the school. He got up to there was guys getting up to trouble. No good in his neighborhood. He got in one little fight, and his mom got scared. You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Washington State. You expect that segue, did you?
No, I did not. But because where he was a part of the Volturi, he was obviously feeding off of humans. Volturi are very human drinking based. They like a good human cocktail. And
well, to be fair, so does Kirsten Stewart.
Oh damn.
She likes a cocktail.
Yeah.
She likes a direct cock tail.
In Kristen's version of cocktails. Ow!
And if you're in danger, look behind you. She'll find a director right inside you.
And this is all a part of cocktails. Ow! Oh my god, we really should stop with those jokes.
Nah.
But fuck it.
That's what she said.
Wow. So I've lost my train of thought now.
You talking about the Volturi?
Yeah. So the Volturi, for those of you who do not know, are the Vampire High Council. And I believe it has some of the oldest vampires as a part of it. And they don't really understand the vegetarian diet the Cullens have. And Carlisle was a part of the Volturi at one point. And was drinking human blood. So he went from I think he was there for about 50, 60 years, and then moved away from the Volturi and started his own little lifestyle family thing. And made this new I feed on animals lifestyle, and it's just, I don't get how he switched from it.
The irony being is he's almost like Dr. Dolittle for vampires.
Yeah.
I walk and talk and eat all the animals.
That was really bad. That was very, very, very bad. Oh, no.
We're trying to ruin as many childhood things as possible, aren't we? From what I can gather.
Yeah. Next thing we know, you're going to try and segue My Little Pony in it somewhere.
Oh, don't worry, I'll have one for that in a bit. But
oh, no.
Oh, I do. But more importantly, right, I just looked up the director of Somewhat of the Huntsman, the one she apparently slept with.
Mm-hmm.
I think she got confused, right, because somebody told her they were going out to get some KFC, and she confused Colonel Sanders with Rupert Sanders, who was the director of the film. She said, I wanted a bit, please.
Yeah, no, she wanted some finger-licking good action.
Yeah, in a bucket.
Oh, the poor Colonel. He didn't get lucky.
No. Didn't get any poppers either.
Oh, that's just sad when you don't get any poppers in your meal.
Yeah. Although you do get that cloth that wipes things clean afterwards.
What, the one that's got chloroform on it? Or?
For legal reasons, I have no idea what you're talking about.
For legal reasons. Oh, no.
But anyway, you asked for it, and here it comes. Do you reckon the director of the Twilight... Do you reckon Stephanie Meyer... Sorry, she'll probably go Stephanie Meyer. The reason why she has the vampire's sparkle in the books, in the Twilight Saga, is because she was doing shrooms or something, and then she woke up in the middle of the morning, still fucking stung up for these shrooms, and on the TV and almost known to My Little Pony, and she found Princess fucking Sparkle. I told you I'd get him in.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yo. But, yeah, no, I think that is one answer that we won't ever get, is to why Carlisle switched his diet over.
Yeah, I like how you're avoiding that subject, Steph. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm good at deflecting things. No wonder I'm single.
Kirsten Stewart wasn't, that's why she got caught. But anyway.
That's because she a hoe.
Is she a ho-ho? Who the hell knows? Down below, oh. But we know she sucks.
Oh, dear. But, oh. Crap, there was something I was going... Yeah. So another little message that was hidden in the Twilight films.
Ladies and gentlemen, if a girl starts swinging scissors around in her hands, do not move in striking range.
They were like that. The pointy end was in my hand. It's fine.
Yeah, but that's how people would throw them.
Oh, shit. That would have ended badly because I was aiming at my computer.
Yeah.
But, okay. Another message that is within the Twilight Saga is...
Look, Stephanie, I spoke!
Oh my god! Stop before I need to go pee. Stop. So, in the first film and in the first book, the bad guy James, I believe his name is James, and his girlfriend Victoria.
And Laurent, yeah.
And Laurent. So, James tries to kill Bella in the first one.
Yeah, he fancied Rupert Sanders too. He couldn't cut the competition.
Because he, as a vampire, he's I want to say predator, but that's not the right word.
well, predators hunt and kill things. That's what predator is.
Yeah, so he's like a predator hunter. His senses are heightened, and when he starts a hunt, he won't stop.
That would be a predator. That is the right word.
Yeah. So he's a predator, and he preys on Bella. This is sounding very, very dodgy right now.
When he preys on Bella, does he like kneel down and go, "Oh my Lord, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done"?
No, it's just I can't remember why he was after Bella. I think it was because of the scent of her blood. I think that's what triggered it.
Do you think he might not have liked their casting choice?
Probably not. Can't say I blame him.
No, me neither.
But with this, Edward and so
I think it is. I actually do think it's the blood thing, because it's the same thing. One of some reasons that compels Edward to her as well.
Yeah. So Edward, when they met after the baseball match, Edward can read minds, people who are not aware, and Alice can see the future and get visions and shit like that. She's basically a psychic.
But Steph, Alice, who the is Alice?
Okay, so Alice gets a vision of a certain part. Right. Oh my god, enough. Trying to explain this.
Good luck with that. Stephanie Meyer couldn't do it either.
So she sees the future and sees James after Bella, and then
Stephanie, please put down the scissors.
Pick up the ones that are in a case.
Preferably the ones you have something in your hand you can't actually do damage with, please. Thank you.
I can't really do damage with these, but yeah, my hairdressing scissors.
Yeah, if you start waving your hands around or holding stuff, don't do it with something that can actually cut you.
Now we're good.
No sense, no feeling. But anyway, kind of like the Twilight effect. That hollow effect is the same sound that comes out of Kirsten Stewart's acting ability.
Sounds hollow.
Like Robert Pattinson's soul.
Was that before or after the Avada Kedavra?
Because he's Batman.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. Edward reads James's mind. Okay, let me just put this on so that way it doesn't go flying.
I want to suck Bella's blood. Oh wait, is that him or me?
He wants to prey on Bella and kill Bella.
Are you sure it's not Edward and he's just not confused?
I mean, it could be split personality disorder, but you never know.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Edward then, being the stereotypical controlling dick that he is...
You mean douchebag. Go with the word douchebag, because that's what it is.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. And he starts getting overprotective of Bella real quick. And then the chase begins. They end up in an old ballet studio because James makes Bella believe that he's torturing her mum. And so when in the ballet studio, he breaks her leg, cuts her head open, she's bleeding out. Edward then kills him with the help of Emmett and Jasper.
I would point out, right, that Bella tortured her mother by being born, but anyway.
Oh, ow! So, Edward kills Bella. Edward kills Bella?
What a much better story that would be.
God.
I know you're called Stephanie, but you're not the author of these books, so you can't really change the story, I'm afraid. Sorry. Unless you want a fanfic, which I do know you do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I might, because I wrote one before, but it was very weird. I'm not going to go into it.
It's not as weird as the actual books go, Steph. Trust me, nothing's that weird.
True. But, so in short, Edward gets help from his two brothers, Emmett and Jasper, to kill James.
Brothers.
Yeah, brothers. They're not actually blood related. They're just sired by the same person.
They're Cullens. It's probably the best way to put it.
Well, actually, technically, Jasper isn't a Cullen. Jasper's Jasper Hale and all that.
No, but it's the Cullen.
Yes, the clan.
Yeah, that's why I said Cullens, and that's why I went like that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that happened, and then in the second one, I believe it's New Moon, Laurent warns... Was it? No, Laurent wasn't even involved in the second one. No, because that was just... That was Edward. Yeah, because in the second one, Edward's with the Volturi, and the Volturi get involved saying Bella needs to be a vampire by this day, and blah, blah, blah. So, move on to Eclipse. Laurent then...
Well, that's what Stephanie Meyer did. She very much skipped over New Moon, because that's why it's really crap. But anyway.
Yeah. So, Laurent warns the Cullens that Victoria wants an eye for an eye, essentially. Because Edward killed James, who was her lover, and she now wants to kill Bella.
Because Bella apparently can't act, and she's jealous of that for some reason.
Yeah. So she wants to do the whole eye for an eye, which is the message that was, again, it's not really a good message to put across to young girls and men, young girls and boys, because I know there are boys who watch it as well. It's just, it's a weird one.
Well, you know the boys that are watching it, you know why they're watching it for, don't you?
Why?
Because it's raining men, hallelujah, it's raining men, oh yeah, and it's sparkling, shiny, bright and new.
Oh dear.
By the way, to speak clear, I'm taking the piss out of Twilight there, not gay people.
Yeah. So, Victoria wants to kill Bella because Edward killed James. And so she goes on this massive, like, murder spree.
In other words, it's stupid bitch logic is what you're saying.
It's basically, so you know how some men, and I'm saying some because not all men do this, some men cheat on their girlfriends, and then the girlfriend wants to go out and stab the bitch he cheated on her with.
Which is like that. Yeah, but that to me is weird, because surely the person who actually punishes the person that you were with.
Yeah, I've never seen the fucking sense into why girls want to get involved.
Because the thing is, though, right, if a guy cheats, I'm speaking as if you're a girl, right? I don't understand why, as a girl, you want to punish the girl that's involved, because you're not dating the girl at the time. You're dating the guy.
Yeah.
Why are you not trying to punish the guy? That girl, for all you know, didn't know about you at all. So how's that her fault?
From what I learned with when I was cheated on about 5 different times by one guy. And all 5 girls did not know about me.
That's kind of my point.
So I thought it was kind of pointless, me going after the girls. I mean, I messaged the girls just to back up what I heard. Yeah. So, because I heard it from from my ex's friend. And he gave me the names of the girls. And I turned around and was like, hey, like, did you mess around with fucking such and such? And they said, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm his girlfriend. And they went, oh, shit, we didn't know. I'm sorry, if we'd have known, we wouldn't have. Because that's 9 times out of 10, that's what girls are like.
But this is reinforcing my point. So why would you as a girl go after the girl? Because there's a good chance, A, the girl probably doesn't know. B, she's not the one who's cheated anyway. It's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Does the same apply to the other way around as well, just to be clear?
Oh, yeah. If your significant other cheats on you with a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter. Don't go after the person they cheated on you with. Go after them. And even then, 9 times out of 10, it's not worth it.
It's the person you're with. If you're gonna do if you feel the need to do something, you need to just worry about the person that you're with. Don't worry about the other person, because like I said before, there's a chance they didn't know about you, and B, they're also not the person who you were with.
Yeah.
So it doesn't serve a purpose. So if you need to do anything to anyone, then it's the person you're with.
Yeah. And what you want to do if you find out that they were fooling around with someone else while you are together, break up with them and leave them. Don't be stupid enough to, stick around and think, oh, he'll change or she'll change. It'll never happen again. It will.
They will change, because that covers everybody right there.
Yeah.
So, also, get tested.
Yeah, make sure you get tested, because, my ex's mum told me to go get tested after we split. As in, this is an ex that I'm on about when I was like 16, just to be clear.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason why you should get tested is because even if you know about that they've cheated once, you may not know about all the times they've done it.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily know what's happening. So be safe.
Yeah. And it's just, just don't go after the girl, because it really isn't worth it.
Yeah, because to be honest, as I said, 9 times out of 10, that other person probably doesn't even know you existed.
Yeah.
And if they did, that 1 out of 10, if you went off them, I doubt they'd care.
Yeah.
Where it makes no difference. The person to be angry with is the person you're with. But there you go. Anyhow,
is there anything you want to cover?
Kirsten Stewart's head and Bob Patterson's head with a black bag.
Not that.
Let's see. You did cover a lot of what I was going to talk about anyway, so I think that's a good thing.
Great minds think alike.
Oh, here we go. The one thing we haven't covered yet, which we'll get to. Who would you have in those roles if you'd had your choice of who to cast? Because we did this with some of the other things we covered as well. So I thought, because we did 50 Shades, I thought I'd probably mention it here as well. It seems appropriate considering how closely related they are.
Yeah. So, one that I would be quite interested to see how they would play it is Daniel Radcliffe
as Bella. Yeah.
Edward. I don't know why, but when I first read the books, I pictured Daniel Radcliffe as Edward Cullen.
Okay.
And it was just, I want to see how he would play that. As Bella, though.
There is something very funny about it, considering who actually played Edward Cullen.
I think, considering how well she played Wanda Maximoff, Elizabeth Olsen would be quite interesting. Personal opinion, she played Wanda really well.
Only thing about that is they're supposed to look similar in age. Yes, I know Edward is older, but vampires aren't supposed to age physically like people are.
Yeah.
So it could be a disparity as to how they would look with each other.
Yeah.
So that's the only real. To be honest, it's the only real issue I would have for that, because it's not the worst ideas by any means.
Yeah. I think if we were going for someone younger.
I mean, how do I put this? I'm not the biggest Elizabeth Olsen fan, but I'm not exactly against her either.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like as much as I kind of slated her acting skills in the last show, I think Dakota Johnson.
As Edward, yeah?
No, as Bella. But I just wouldn't have Jamie What's-His-Face as Edward.
Doran, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think those two would work quite well together, Radcliffe and Johnson.
Okay. Cool.
Either her or Elizabeth Olsen.
But as this is a three-way thing, Jacob.
See, I've never really thought about that because Taylor Lautner does it really well.
And you can't say Mojo.
I mean, I'd have him as the wolf form. I would have him as the wolf form. The one dopey werewolf. The one dopey little albino werewolf.
You're being far too rough on him.
Wow.
I got in the rough joke. Yes.
Yeah. No, I got it in before you did.
I've pretty much got in so many gags and tropes I wanted to do for this. I'm really happy.
Yeah. But I don't know.
So go on. I'll get to my when you're done.
Part of me would keep Taylor Lautner in the role. However, I think minus how the description is, I would say Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Grant Gustin. I'd have him play Jacob Black. And that was if we weren't really going based off the description of how he looks in the books.
Okay.
So,
I have an idea for Edward Cullen for you, since you brought up the DC Arrowverse. What about Amel?
See, that would be... Yeah. Seeing as Oliver Queen's quite a broken, damaged character anyway.
Just an idea, because also physically he looks like the description.
Yeah, he does. Just he'd have to shave.
Yeah, but also I'm much more inclined to believe that he could do the things that Cullen does, as opposed to what Pattinson does.
Yeah.
Because you've seen the stuff he's done on the show, so you know he's physically capable of doing things. So I'm much more inclined to believe somebody like that could beat the crap out of somebody, as opposed to for Pattinson, who's like, "Oh, I'm an emo, I'm depressed."
See, also Stephen Amell's quite easy on the eyes as well, which is nice.
I am thinking about the ladies in the game, in.
Yes, he is quite good on the eyes.
So, because when you're aiming a film at that demographic, you have to bear in mind you want them to also be pretty.
Yeah.
And I figured that would be a good mix for both, for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, it also satisfies the requirements of the role. So I have a harder time trying to cast Bella, though, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So, Jacob. Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Gonna throw you out of left field because I think it could be interesting.
Yeah.
So, because I thought he was very good as the other Black Panther. So I think he could do a good job to it. But like you, I think Lautner does all right as Jacob Black. I do.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be an interesting dynamic to have him in there.
See, you mentioning Stephen Amell, you brought up another person who I think could play Bella.
Okay.
The woman who plays Thea Queen.
Oh, Willa Holland. There you go.
Yeah.
That would be a bit weird though, because brother and sister.
I know, but I think that would be quite interesting.
Also, they don't look close in age, which is the other issue.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't really believe them being in high school together. That's the issue with that. But I get what you mean, though.
Oh, yeah.
Dynamic-wise, also, we know they can act together. That's not an issue.
Oh, yeah.
But they might find the more intimate scenes a bit creepy.
Yeah.
It'd be like, but you were my brother.
Yeah.
But I understand the choice, though. She is actually a really good actress, and I've seen her in other stuff as well. So,
and you would, because they worked on screen before, you know there is some sort of chemistry and bond there.
Right, exactly. So I get your choice. Oh, I'm trying to think what her name is. Felicia Day.
You're going to have to tell me.
Charlie from Supernatural.
Ah. I see.
What do you reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely would work.
So, yeah, most of the geeks out there are probably shouting at you right now because a lot of geeks will know who she is just by me saying
Felicia Day. As soon as you said Charlie, I was like, yeah.
Yeah. So, but she's been in a lot of things and people will know her by her name because she is very much a geek in real life.
I've just had the funniest thought. I can't remember the actor's name, but the one who plays Castiel as Carl.
Oh, yeah. That's annoying me now.
Oh, no, why did I say Carlisle? I meant Edward. It was Edward.
Oh, to be fair, it's not the worst idea.
Probably do a better job than Robert.
Misha Collins.
Yeah.
It was in my brain. I'm just trying to force it out somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one for you for the lead, for like possibly to replace James for the Voltaire. And that would be Mark Sheppard. Crowley.
What, him playing James?
Yeah.
If you could make James have Crowley's personality as well.
Well, I'm casting this, so I'm doing it how I want.
Yeah. That would be great.
You can imagine going up to Stephen Mel going, "Hello, boys."
Oh god.
Or you could go to Felicia Day going, "Hello, boys," and I'm not talking about your brothers. Or she could turn around to him and go, "You look familiar. I think I've seen you somewhere before." And he'd be, "I don't know what you mean." I mean, I'm being a bit silly at this point, but I don't care. I thought it was kind of funny.
See, I would be intrigued to see Jared. I cannot pronounce his last name.
Padalecki.
Yeah, I would love to see Jared play Jacob.
That could be interesting. I mean, he's currently busy doing the Walker Texas Ranger series, so
yeah.
He is actually doing another role now. So, but that could work. I could see that.
Just have the whole Supernatural cast redoed. Dean as Edward.
Fine, then we'll have Carlisle be Jensen Ackles. Why not?
Yeah. That would be funny. Just...
Hey, you want eye candy, right?
Oh, hell yeah. I would quite happily sit there and watch Twilight 24/7 if that was the cast.
You imagine the flapping that would go on to that show. That TV, those films. If this was the cast.
Bring back the plastic sheets and the tissues.
Wipe clean surface. You can imagine the buzz. You can imagine the buzz it would create, can't you?
I've got a pee.
Oh. Yeah, this is why I say things like this. This is why we do the recasting thing to see who we could possibly think could be do the roles of stuff. Because sometimes you get some really funny answers, which is never a bad thing. Let's just hope Stephanie makes it to the toilet in time, because otherwise that could be a very unique experience, shall we say? And let's not have it be that. We want it to be not bad, so there's no getting wet.
Okay, I've just had a thought. David Tennant.
F. I would point out you can't just come back from the toilet and just say I've just had a fall, because people are just going to think you've been fapping in the toilet.
Ew, no. Yeah, I've got to quickly Google one thing so I can get the character name correctly. No, seriously. Alright, come on. Ah, there we go. So, I would like to see David Tennant either play James or Arrow from the Volturi, or Arrow, whatever his fucking name is.
You say Arrow?
Really long hair.
Did you say Arrow? That sounds like a chocolate bar.
Yeah, no, I believe it's Arrow.
Do you want him to play it like this? I've got it. We can have Rupert Grint play Lauren.
No, he can play Victoria. We're bad. We shouldn't be thinking shit like this. Oh no.
Oh, I think this works definitely. Let's have Emma Watson play Alice. Why not?
Yeah, she's a good actor.
Really? When?
Nah.
Well, she sees the future, and apparently she can't act, so I think Emma Watson's perfect for that.
Oh. I just keep on picking up random stuff on my bed and start playing with it. That's bad.
By the way, something I would point out to you is a fact you may not be aware of. Did you know Lautner was nearly replaced after the first film, because when Jacob becomes full werewolf, he obviously gets bigger in size.
Yeah.
So they nearly recast him, but Lautner put on a lot of mass to do the part on later films, which is why he becomes so much more muscular and bulky.
Yeah.
So if he hadn't done that, they were going to replace him.
But he's the only good actor in the show.
And ironically, the one who actually suffered the most from this film, because he never really got anything major afterwards.
Yeah, which is sad.
It's weird, considering. Maybe he didn't sleep with the right director, I don't know.
I've just had a thought for who can play Bella's dad, Charlie.
Rupert Sanders?
Christopher Eccleston.
Oh, I went for the director she slept with, but okay.
No, that's Daddy, not Dad.
I'm sorry. I got confused.
Oh, what, like she did? Because she thought he was her boyfriend.
Are we casting for the porno version of this, or are we casting for the actual version?
Look, the porno version's already been done.
No, that was Snow White and the Huntsman. That was the porno version of that film.
True. Very true.
She played the Wicked Witch. But anyway.
I can see that.
Yeah. And the director's wife played Snow White. But anyway. Oh, so many fun ideas. But
yeah.
The thing is with Christopher Eccleston being her dad, that's kind of a waste of Christopher Eccleston not being funny. Yeah,
because he doesn't get a lot of screen time.
Actually, I know what. Have Mark Sheppard play her dad, right? Because every time Lautner and Patterson turn up, he can go, "Hello, boys."
See, all right. I think that Charlie Swan is a really underrated character.
Actually,
Because he's just...
I've got it. We cast Eccles, Jansen Eccles, and Padalecki in the 2 main roles, and then have Shepard as a dad, and then we can literally have that scene, and then we can pop people.
Yes! Right, we need to make this happen. We need to get hold of their agents. We need to write the script. Let's go. You be the cameraman, I'll be the screenwriter or makeup artist. Let's go.
I'm not being the director. I don't want them trying to sleep with me.
Hey, at least they're all good looking, though.
But they're all guys and I'm straight.
Oh, I mean, spaghetti straight till it's wet. That just kind of flew out.
Uncle?
And that's
Uncle.
on autism. And that's on autism.
To be fair, the comment isn't wrong, but it's just wrong.
Yeah. It's like, because I get spells of verbal diarrhea, so sometimes I can't control it.
The comment was factually correct. It was just wrong.
Yeah. I could actually use this to do contour lines on my nose.
Do you know what's funny though? Do you imagine how much worse this would be if we had Kira?
We would be going for another 2 hours.
Because then she'd be talking about fanfic as well, and oh no.
Yeah. Pardon me.
That's the script for the 5th Twilight film.
Should we touch upon that? The 5th film I'm on about.
Technically, be the 6th film. It should be the 6th film. Actually, I should correct myself.
Yeah. Look, some of them films are irrelevant, like New Moon. Okay, it had no. It had no purpose.
Ironically, though, it made more money than Twilight and Eclipse did.
This is true.
Which is weird, considering how completely inconsequential it is as a film.
Yeah.
Which I think, honestly, is probably what reflects on why Eclipse's thing was so low after New Moon.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens, people watch Twilight and thought, oh, okay, we'll try New Moon because we enjoy Twilight. And then they watch New Moon and thought, oh, this is bad. So then less people went to watch Eclipse. And then there's people were like, oh, we enjoyed this. And then it got back to people's like, oh, yeah, now we've gone to the last book. So now we'll go and watch it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, finally, this brain ache will be over.
So are you on about Midnight Sun?
Yes.
Mm.
I saw a trailer and I wanted to gag.
No, that's Grey. That's the 50 Shades version of this film.
All right, yeah, I actually want them to release Grey and Darker and Freed as films as well. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, you want to recast who's in the films.
True.
You can't have Jansen Eccles as Christian Grey. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
He can be Anastasia. He can be Anna, but he can't be Christian.
Wow.
I tell you what, we'll have Padalecki as Christian Grey and Jansen Eccles as Anna.
I can't anymore. What the fuck is this show? Is this just a verbal version of fanfic?
And the older woman that seduced him when he was younger is Mark Sheppard. And Mr. Collins is the photographer Fred.
What has this show come to? It's basically us writing a film, like we're making a film fanfic.
Yeah, but we are emphasising basically just how badly these were done. This is the point.
Yeah.
Just we're having to make up our own things to make
10 times better.
Yeah, we're having to make up our own stuff to make it better.
Yes, and something that I can tolerate because, personal opinion, Twilight is overrated and it sucks.
Yeah, Because there's the thing, the fanfic of this is actually much better in quality, and that's 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, we love 50 Shades of Grey. I can't believe I had to point out I am in no way, shape, or form taking my last name from 50 Shades of Grey.
No, it's a family name.
Yeah. I had to point that out last time just in case I got messages from people going, oh my god, you took your name from Christian Grey. No.
No, your surname comes from Yates and Eccles. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I would love to take one of their last names. I'd just kill their girlfriends or wives and kill their kids.
They're both married. They are actually both married.
Yeah, kill the wives.
Padalecki has children. I'm not sure about Eccles.
Okay, kill the wives.
Because Padalecki's wife was actually in Supernatural.
Yeah.
So
make it look like an accident, and then take one of them hostage and make them marry me. Because I'm not desperate.
Stephanie's online confession to the world.
Oh yeah. Because I'm definitely not desperate.
Let's make babies, she says.
Oh yeah.
To Jansen Eccles and Padalecki, to be clear.
Yes, just to sum that up, we don't do incest. No.
No, we don't play that game in this family. We don't live in Sheppey.
Someone had to say it, and it wasn't going to be me.
We also don't live in Wales. We also don't live in Kent. Oh, sorry, you do. But
hey, dick.
Sorry, what?
You're a dick for saying that, because I'm stuck in Kent until like.
Excuse me. That is Captain Dick or Admiral Dick to you.
What about Major Dick?
Oh, we'll go. That works for me. Why not, Major Dick?
Major Dick.
Yes, I am a Major Dick. Yes.
Oh dear God.
Right, but the thing is, though, we will actually get back to the Twilight stuff now because we probably should before we disappear off. The things, the books, for the most part, there are some questionable choices made by the writer, but again, it's not the worst set of books by any means. There are much worse. Hunger Games, but because we will do that at some point too. Oh yeah, Hunger Games is worse than this.
I shall fight thee to the death.
Oh, go shag Jekyll's or something.
Gladly. You think that's being a bad thing in my books? That'll be an accomplishment.
Well, to give you an idea of just how bad. I've actually got something I'm going to point out here for chemistry purposes, right? Because I mentioned about Kirsten Stewart and Robin Pattinson having no chemistry.
Yeah.
Kirsten Stewart, when she's in the film, the Snow White and the Huntsman, yes, I know about the direct stuff. Yeah, that's not what I'm referring to here. Her co-star, if you can't have chemistry with that co-star, I don't know what people can do for you.
You're going to have to tell me who the co-star is because I haven't seen that film.
It's Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, God, yeah. Even I would have chemistry with him, and I don't know him.
But that's my point. I can't think of anyone who would have an issue with that. The man's funny. He's good looking. I speak as a straight man. I know he's fucking good looking.
Yes.
And yet, their chemistry is nil, and it's got nothing to do with him. He does his best to try and make that work, and it's clear in the film if you watch it.
I've just had a thought.
So I kind of suspect she may be more responsible for the chemistry issue than Pattinson is. This is why I mentioned
Probably, yeah. But so you mentioned Chris Hemsworth, right?
Yes.
Sebastian Stan would probably do an okay job as Edward.
But he killed Tony Stark's parents.
And And
He was in that. He's also just finished being in that god awful fucking series.
I only watched it for him, in all fairness. I didn't pay attention to the plot line.
I think that's fair. I can respect your honesty. And in all honesty, and also I can understand why.
Yeah, he is very good looking.
Not my type, as I said before, straight man,
Yeah.
but I get it.
Yeah, as a desperate single woman, my type.
Yeah, so desperate single women have to flap to something, but
Wow.
hey, I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that. Guys have to masturbate to shit too.
True. And also it's healthy.
Yeah. Bear in mind, when I say girls have to flap to stuff, I'm not criticizing them. It's a healthy thing to do.
And it's normal.
As long as you're choosing to do it yourself and you're not being made to do it. That's the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, you can't have Edward Cullen there going, flap, Kirsten, flap.
Don't jump. He jumps anyway. That is essentially what happened. He was telling her, don't jump off the cliff. Don't do it. Don't be stupid. Yeet. Off she goes.
Can you imagine, right, if Edward Cullen made a sex tape, right?
Oh,
could you imagine how that would go? It'd be, yeah, that's it. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
just so monotonal. There's no need for him being monotonal at all.
That's my point. I'm taking the piss.
Yeah. It's like, you can have inflections in your voice. Is it inflections or inflections?
Inflections.
Yeah, there you go. It was one of the two. So you can have different tones of voice for a depressed emo vampire bullshit excuse of a fucking disco ball.
To be fair, you can throw the same accusation at Stuart as well.
Yeah, it's both of them, and it's like, she's like, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not scared of you. I love you. And it's just...
That is something I think Lautner gets right. Jake.
He's not monotonal. Thank fuck for that.
Yeah, his voice shows his emotions of what he's doing at the time, which is what you want from an actor.
I mean, I understand Sam. I hope it's Sam, the alpha of the pack. Him having quite a monotonal voice. I can understand that because he's like the leader, he's in charge.
Also, if you understand things about wolves and how they work in the wild, that's normal wolf behaviour, so that actually does make perfect sense, yes. It works the character, absolutely. Exactly.
But for someone like Bella, who's meant to show a lot of passion and, towards Edward, you don't want her sitting there being like, I love you. I'm not scared of you. Edward, I miss you. You don't need the weak, feeble monotone.
I mean, the thing is, the Edward bit, at least, you can see some women might find that attractive. Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're a guy watching this, or if you're a lesbian watching this, somebody who might find Bella attractive, basically.
Yeah.
You're not going to sit there wanting to pleasure yourself or enjoy watching her with the way she is, because she's like, Edward, I love you so much. You won't believe how much I love you, and I'm not reading an auto cue.
It's like when she finds out she's pregnant, she's like, I'm late. My period's never late. There's no distress in her voice. There's no worry or concern. And then there's when she calls Rosalie to tell her that she's pregnant, she goes, Rosalie, I'm pregnant. And then that's it.
Not being funny. If they're vampires, surely they should be able to sniff there's no blood.
Yeah.
Just think I'd like to point out there. because I'm not trying to be weird or creepy about this, but bear in mind they are drawn to blood, and if she's not having a period, then obviously she's not got the build up from when you're going to release the bleeding.
Yeah, it's like how dogs can smell it as well. Because
animals pick up the scent, yes.
So it's like my dog kind of just steers away from me when I'm due my period, and it's like, okay, thanks for the reminder, bud.
Yeah. Your uncle learned to do that at a young age when he realised every woman in the household synchronised, so he knew which week to disappear for at the 4 in the month.
Smart move on your part.
Yeah, same deal, basically.
Yeah, I don't think my brothers have sussed that out yet.
Well, to be fair, one of your brothers is cute and adorable, and the other one will never get it.
Yeah, no. I like the cute and adorable one, though. He's my favourite.
No, Mojo's your favourite, but yeah, after Mojo.
Yeah. But it's just when you are late onto your period and you've had unprotected sex or protected sex and your period hasn't come, you panic. You freak out.
Okay, speaking as a guy, obviously I can't relate to this because obviously we don't get them.
Yeah. Speaking from personal experience as well, which kind of helps. Because I was never late for mine, and then I found out I was pregnant, I was panicking, I was in so much stress, I was freaking out. I wasn't just sitting there and I didn't tell my partner at the time, baby, I'm pregnant, or baby, my period's late. I was panicking, full-blown, having an argument with him about it.
Why didn't you use a condom, you stupid prick?
Thing is, we did.
No, I meant that's what she should have been doing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about you.
And then when Edward's like, yeah, but I can't get anyone pregnant, it's like, because I know there's always this like assumption vampires are infertile and everything.
Well,
and then,
I suppose technically they're dead, so I think that's where that comes from.
Yeah, which is understandable and does make logical sense. But
you also have to bear in mind they are reanimated bodies and they are still living, talking beings. Yes, they are don't breathe and stuff, but it doesn't mean they can't incapable of doing certain other things.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
one thing, they can still get erections.
Oh, well, duh. Otherwise, how the hell did they have sex?
Yeah, but that's my point. If you can still do it, there's a good chance the rest of your sexual stuff is working.
Yeah.
So unless you've had tests and stuff, there's no way you can know that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just...
Do you really think Carlisle went to Edward? Edward, let me test your sperm to see if you can get anyone pregnant.
I'm a doctor. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's it, Edward. Put it right in front of my face. Yeah, I'm going to have a good look at it. I'm just going to take a sample. I'm just going to go back up and down.
I mean, considering Carlisle's meant to be like Edward's father figure.
It's okay, he's a doctor.
I'm a doctor, you can trust me.
But Dad, you shouldn't be doing that to my penis. It's okay, I'm a doctor.
It's legal.
Well, the vampire, so technically the law doesn't apply, but anyway.
Yeah.
Also, he's not underage, because, you know.
Yeah. I just... The fact that then...
Also, not incestuous, not related.
Yeah. But what it's just the way he just goes, like, he paralyzes in shock. Like, he has a paralytic shock, and Carlisle says that it is possible. And he's like, well, surely you would have known that it could have been a possibility if she's missed her period.
Maybe. Carlisle didn't talk to Edward about the vampire birds and bees.
I mean, he had over a century to do that, so you would have thought he would have.
Yeah, but men talking to men about things that matter, like emotional stuff and things like that. Men tend to like delay that shit and just want to go and do fun stuff, like go to the bars and watch strip clubs and shit.
Yeah. I mean, understandable, but...
So sometimes things come back to bite you on the ass.
Yeah, and then, you know, boom.
As they're vampires, that can be a literal thing too.
Yeah, and then it's like, boom, the baby's there, and then...
Here's a question for you. I have a question for you with regards to the baby.
Yeah.
Do you think the baby sparkles?
I mean, she's half vampire.
So
But
what?
you
The
see
top half
her in,
sparkles or the bottom half sparkles?
I don't know, because the
Or
thing
half?
is,
Or half?
see, you see Renesmee out in broad sunlight and she doesn't sparkle. But yeah, Bella dies, and so does Edward and all the other, like, Cullens, essentially. And it's one of those things, because then they also get accused of making a child vampire as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which just... Mm-mm.
By the way, Steph,
Mm.
it was just a dream.
Was it? Okay, you've actually confused me on that one.
Oh, in the films, Bella has a dream about the battle.
No, that's Alice. Alice, that was
One of them does anyway. I don't bloody care.
Yeah.
And this is how much the service stopped mattering.
Yeah. It's just because they get accused of basically abducting a child and turning them into a vampire. And this is, again, a eye for an eye thing, because Irina, who told them, Laurent got killed by werewolves. And Irina and Laurent were seeing each other, and yeah. Because they're Bella's friends, she now wants to take something from Bella, and that would just be her kid. There's just a lot of drama it kind of reminds me of secondary school drama.
It sounds like most of this is also unnecessary drama too, because it's people just being stupid.
Yeah.
We should think this the stupid saga.
Yeah. It would make more sense.
By the way, if Alice is dreaming this, then we definitely have to ask the question. Alice, who the fuck is Alice?
Oh dear.
Is this Stephanie Meyer putting herself into the actual story?
Maybe.
Explains why the ending was so shit.
Yeah. But the thing is, I read The Host, which is another book that Stephanie Myers wrote. And it's decent. It's actually... I haven't seen the film, so I'm going off of the book. The book's decent.
Okay, there's
what
a film
I can
version.
Remember.
I'll tell you now, there is a film version.
Oh, okay. But it's just... I compare how she wrote Twilight to how The Host is written. And I read The Host when I was 14, 15, I read The Host.
It's about 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Wow. It's almost half a decade ago. Jesus.
You're old. You're old.
Not as old as my mum, and I'll take that.
If you were, that'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't look bad for my age either. So.
Yeah, 47.
What? I'm offended.
What, you're flattered? Oh, okay.
No, I said I'm offended.
What? Because she's your mother? That's not nice.
No.
To be fair, Steph, if you was 47, you'd actually have very good skin for a 47-year-old.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, just to be clarified, people, Stephanie is not 47.
No. I am young.
Girl.
Ish.
Kinda.
Sorta.
Maybe. Coulda.
Shoulda.
Woulda.
Right, okay. So, do we need to cover anything else?
I Okay, possibly this one last thing.
Mm.
Is there anything majorly you could possibly change to make this better as a saga? Do you think?
Edward killed Bella and then himself. Voila, story over. Only needs one book.
So essentially, you're saying she shouldn't have written it at all. Is basically what you're saying.
Essentially, yeah. But then, in all fairness, if she hadn't have written it, 50 Shades wouldn't have happened.
I was going to say, you're forgetting.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason why I would keep Twilight around. Because as someone who owns a lot of books, I own all the 50 Shades on, well, minus Christian's point of view ones. I have the first 3 50 Shades books as paperbacks and digital copies. I also own the Twilight Saga in paperbacks and digital. And I would pick...
And only one of those set of books sticks to the pages together.
Wow. Wow. But no, if I had to choose between reading Twilight for the rest of my life or reading 50 Shades, I'm sorry, I would be reading the 50 Shades saga for the rest of my life. Because it's so much, it's better written, there's more structure, and I think even if it was a PG book, if it was a PG fanfic, I would still read it. Because E.L. James did such a good job writing it. So, yeah, that's one of my opinions.
Okay, so basically this is an example right here of why fanfic can be a good thing, is what Stephanie's saying here.
Yeah.
But here's an idea for you, though, Steph. 50 Shades of Twilight.
Why does part of me want to write that and have Christian buttfuck Edward?
You're welcome. There you go. Stephanie's fanfic can be found at.
I mean, I may actually reboot my Wattpad.
Oops, so happens, but there you go. If she does, we'll let you guys know. But
Oh,
I was just curious. But basically, for Stephanie's point of view, Twilight wasn't really something that she enjoyed, but it led to something she does enjoy. So you can always get something good out of something bad. Basically, is the moral of the story. Even if something isn't necessarily for you, there will also be people that will enjoy it, and also something that may come from it that you'd enjoy too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've managed to get quite a lot of fun out of this, despite the fact that neither of us really like it that much.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to change something, what I would change would be I would have Bella end up with Jacob.
If sorry?
I would have Bella end up with Jacob, not Edward.
I'd have Bella end up with the director. Oh, wait, no, wrong.
Wrong franchise!
Damn! I keep forgetting. Well, in the first film, that would be really interesting because the director was a woman.
I mean...
It'd still be a better ending.
A pay raise?
Oh, it gets better though because the director was her surname was Hardwick. That's all I'm saying.
No, all right. On to the next point of business.
But of course, if she ended up with the director for the last film, it's old Bill Condon.
I can't believe I had to get you to repeat that.
Well, they did. They had him direct 2 films, so she had to say him twice.
Way.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Durex.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
Way. We just made a whole fucking What has this podcast come to? I think we need more people because us two together are just
Some of the people we know would make this worse.
Yeah. But I can't bring anyone innocent onto the show. They come out mentally disturbed.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Some of them may bring balance, though.
Ew.
Well, as in they will go off and do stupid stuff, and then I get to relax and not have to deal with it, and then I can try and bring everyone in.
I just bring the stupid out in you sometimes.
Yeah, that shit's contagious. Stop it, right?
No.
She's touching me.
Not touching. Oh.
Right, I think we've pretty much got everything we can for the Twilight Saga.
Yes.
As we're calling it that, basically. By all means, though, if you do like it, by all means, I have no criticism if you like it. We're giving our opinions, okay? Enjoy what you like what you enjoy, okay? We both like our coffee and our chocolate, and dogs, and we like dogs. Basically. But if Twilight was your thing, guys, by all means, do enjoy it. It's your choice. We're talking about our own opinions here.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, Kirsten Stewart and
the director
and Rupert Sanders spring to mind. But anyway, we should ask her sometime if he was finger licking good. But anyway. Or maybe he was a bit chicken.
And that will be on the Patreon.
Oh, we got some bunch of fun stuff lined up for future shows, obviously for normal stuff, and we do have some Patreon ones lined up for this show as well. Such as we will talk more about 50 Shades of Grey, but we're going to go a bit more explicit on what we talk about on the Patreon version of that.
Yes.
The next one of these obviously will be next month, which will be, unless something changes, it will be on the 19th of June, which is another Saturday, of course, same time. And Stephanie doesn't know this subject because Stephanie disappeared when I told you guys what it was. I'm going to let Stephanie know what it is. We're talking Disney.
That can either ruin my childhood or it could make it.
So you have to let other people that you know that's what we're doing. So if any of them want to come on.
Yes. I mean, I'll be quite happy to come on for that show. I mean, I've been on pretty much every single show for this one.
Although I would say at this point, there is one person we know who probably will not be available because I imagine they will have a child by that point.
Probably, yeah.
Hopefully, as long as it's not late.
Yeah. 15 days later. 15 days past the due date.
It could be 50 Shades of the birthing date.
I think, yeah.
It'll get to a point where she's saying to the baby, "Stop touching me!"
Stop touching! Right, okay.
Right. And with that one, people, we're just going to go very quickly over all the stuff that we need to plug, and then we'll get it. There's our Patreon, guys. You guys can check this stuff out here. The links are below. Stephanie's Insta.
Yeah.
Stephanie will point the wrong way because she never remembers.
Yeah.
The Twitter for us, basically for this show, it's #BrokenFilm. Let us know here. Same thing with the Instagram. #BrokenFilm.
Yes.
It's all good fun. Right. And obviously for those of you who are possibly looking at extra stuff, there will be a Patreon version of this show in the not too distant future, where we do the 50 Shades of Grey stuff. One next month, as I already said, it will be Disney.
Nice.
So, that's all, folks.
Bye.
Not touching you.
I'm touching the end.
She's touching me.
Just get around and it'll be smarter than me too. Y'all like it because it's stinky like you. I can quote that word for word the whole film.
We'll be talking more about that probably next time.
Yes.
So we'll leave you guys, and we will be shiny and sparkly as we say goodbye to you all.
Bye-bye.
And trust me, watch up. The first 30 minutes, better love story than Twilight.
100%, yes.